participate in clinical trials, test out amusement park rides, professional beer taster. Well, those are 3 interesting side hustles, but that's not what I'm going to tell you about today, because on today's episode, I am going to tell you about 3 killer side hustles to start in 2022 to make some extra cash, or maybe they'll even take over your main gig. And make sure you stay until the end to hear about the one trap to avoid with side hustles, because it can derail everything that you're doing. Let's go. So guys, remember at the beginning of this video when I said, who wants to be a millionaire? Well, you might be thinking, how is this side hustle stuff gonna get me to $1 million? Let me give you some interesting math, guys. If you were to just make an extra $300 a week from your side hustle, that's $1,200 a month, a little over $14,000 a year. And if you put that $14K into an investment or even an account that earns you 6%, and you do that for 30 years, you will be a millionaire. It's actually a little over $1.2 million to be exact. Now look, I know 30 years sounds like a lot. Listen, if you can make more than $300, then you can get there a lot faster. But just think about it. Your side hustle, if you start early enough, can be something that sets you up beautifully for retirement, for when you leave your main job, or if you do it right and you play your cards correctly, it could take over your main job altogether. So the numbers work in your favor. All right, you guys, side hustle number 1 that you could start in 2022, or actually even right now with little to no money down. Does that sound like an infomercial? Is a YouTube channel or a podcast. You knew I had to start there because you're probably watching this on YouTube, or you're listening to the brand new podcast, The Dima Show, wherever you find podcasts. How's that for a self-plug? Anyhow, guys, a YouTube channel or podcast is an amazing side hustle. Here's why. You could start it with no money. Like I said, you can do it with your cell phone. Now look, guys, you can obviously film in an awesome fancy studio with all of these lights and cameras and all this kind of stuff you see here and microphones, but you can also just do it on your cell phone. Believe it or not, a new iPhone or an Android phone, whatever you're into, can do just as good of a job at getting you your first couple videos up on YouTube. You can use the sound recorder to record and do a podcast. Now here's the thing, you can do a YouTube channel or a podcast on any topic that you want. And now a lot of people will ask me, is it too late to start a YouTube channel or a podcast? I'm gonna tell you absolutely not. Even though there may be a lot of people in whatever area you're interested in, whatever subject you're interested in, that's actually a good thing. That means that people are interested in it. If you pick a niche where no one is doing anything on YouTube, you better watch out, because that means no one's actually interested in watching that. So anyhow, pick a niche, pick an area that you really like, and start giving your perspective, because ultimately people are going to tune in to your channel or your podcast because they're interested to hear what you have to say about it, your perspective, your thoughts, and your ideas. So real quick, guys, if this is something that you want to do, here is what I want you to do. Step number 1, research some niches, research some topics that you're interested in. Make sure you're passionate about it. For example, guys, my channel, all about real estate, business, finance, politics, current events. These are all things that I'm interested in. And of course, I hope you're interested in, since you're paying attention here and watching the channel, right? But pick something that you like, that you want to talk about, and then decide what your unique perspective is going to be on that topic. And then here's the most important, the most critical step. Don't do too much planning. Just get a video out, or get a podcast out and see what people think. Send it around, ask your friends, ask your family, what do they think about it? Get some comments, and then keep going. In YouTube, in podcasts, what I have found, although the podcast is brand new for us, but in YouTube, what I have found is that it's all about repetition. It's all about practice. The more you do it, the better you are going to get. And then you guys, once you get some videos out, you see how you do, you start learning, then you can get more professional. You can buy some camera gear, you can build a studio in your house, whatever it is you want to do. But the first and most important part is start doing it. Like I said, YouTube podcasts can be a great side hustle. YouTube, if you weren't aware, actually starts paying you for your videos after you get a certain amount of subscribers and watch time. I've done a couple of videos that you can check out on how to get monetized on YouTube and then how much money you can make. So make sure you check those out on the channel. You can see exactly what's going on. And if this is something that you want to do, the most important thing again, guys, is just get started. Hey, look, guys, there's some side hustles that are really weird. Hey, when I was 18, I sold door-to-door stuff for a mechanic shop, coupon books, all kinds of weird stuff. What's a weird side hustle that you've had, or what's a side hustle that you're doing right now? I'd love to hear about it. Let me know in the comments. All right, you guys, the next side hustle for your consideration is wholesaling real estate. So you may or may not have heard of this. I'm going to explain this to you quickly in a nutshell, and maybe we'll do another video where we'll do a deep dive on wholesaling real estate. But in essence, here's what this is. And the beauty of it, I'm going to tell you up front, is number one, you don't need a real estate license. Number two, you don't need a lot of capital. So you could start this today on your couch at home. And here it is. When you wholesale real estate, essentially what you do is you find someone who wants to sell a property. I'm going to make up a number. They want to sell it for $200,000. You can find them in any number of different ways. You might know someone, you might knock on their door, you might look at an ad of someone selling their home on their own. That's called a for sale by owner. And then on the other end of that transaction, you find a willing buyer who wants to buy that home for slightly more. That could be $10,000 more, $20,000 more, $100,000 more. So let's say, going back to our example, you happen to find someone that wants to sell their home or is willing to sell their home for $200,000, and then you find another person that's willing to buy that same property for $220,000. You put yourself right in the middle of that transaction, you wholesale it to the next buyer, and you collect the difference, or $20,000. Now here's the awesome part, you guys. You never have to own the property. You don't have to close escrow on that deal, so you don't need any capital. You don't need a real estate license. If you don't prepare any contracts, you can hire someone to do that, and you make the difference. So wholesaling is an amazing way to get into real estate without all of the overhead, the expenses, the licensing, and all of that other stuff. Of course, there's a lot more that goes into wholesaling real estate than just what I described, but that's the basics of it. If this is something you really want to do, like I said, we'll do a deep dive in it. There's a lot of other awesome people that talk about wholesaling real estate. You can look that up as well. And this is something that can be an awesome career, side hustle, or just something you do to make some extra cash. All right, you guys, the next tip, the next great side hustle for 2022, or even right now, that really doesn't take a lot of money to start, is coaching and consulting. So just pick your favorite sport and go be a coach. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Not that type of coaching. I'm talking about professional coaching and consulting. And in this area, guys, there is so much demand for these services. Now, here's the great part about coaching and consulting. What you want to do here is you want to pick something that you are passionate about. That could be real estate, that could be art, that could be dance, music, whatever it is. You can literally pick anything that you're passionate about, and you can become a coach or a consultant in that area, and you can help other people do a great job. You can help other people get into an industry, or you could just help other people succeed in whatever that industry is. Like I said, the great part about coaching and consulting is it really doesn't take a lot of money to start, because this should be something that you are passionate about and that you're already an expert in. And then what you can do is you can provide one-on-one services, you can provide group services, you can create a course down the line, and there are so many other things that you can do to help people in the area that you're passionate about and that you're an expert in. So if this is something you want to do, if coaching and consulting is really a side hustle that you want to start, I'm going to give you some really easy steps to go ahead and do that. Number one, I want you to take out a piece of paper and just list all the things where you're an expert and where you have a passion. And then number two, I want you to just make a list of everyone that you know, or people that you might know, or people that you know that might know someone that could use your services. And then third, I want you to pick up the phone and call them. Yes, I said call them, not Facebook message, not Instagram message, and not text, but an actual phone call. If you can meet with them in person, even better. But what I want you to do there is I want you to ask them, What kind of help do they need? Are they looking for some help in that area? And how can you help them? You're going to be amazed at how many people you know, or people you know that know people that might end up being your clients. And you can start helping them one-on-one. Then you can start doing group things. Then you can even start creating a course out of your coaching and consulting services, if this is the side hustle that you want to do right now or in 2022. And like I said, the best thing is this really doesn't require any startup capital. All right, you guys, so there are your 3 amazing side hustles for 2022 that are going to make you a bunch of cash. Have you picked one yet? Before you do, let me tell you about the one trap to avoid that can derail your entire side hustle situation. And here's the trap, you guys. A lot of people, when they think about side hustle, they go and they get what amounts to another job. I do not want you to do that. You already probably have a job, or you already have a business. I don't want you to go and find something where you're going to start trading time for money. That's a job. That's not a side hustle. So if you notice, the 3 things I shared with you today, they are all either businesses or they are things that you can ultimately scale. So think about it. If you create a YouTube channel or a podcast, you put out the videos, maybe YouTube eventually starts paying you when you get monetized. You don't have to keep putting out videos to get paid on those original ones. So you're getting paid passive income. That's just one example. The other side hustles do the same thing. So as you're looking for a side hustle, maybe one of these 3 are not really your game and you don't like these, that's fine. Go find something else that you want to do, but make sure that it's not just another job. You want a true side hustle that you can turn into a business that's going to let you earn passive income and ultimately, hopefully, allow you to get wealthy. You guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope you got something really valuable out of this. Before you leave, here's what I want you to do. Let me know. Do you like one of these 3 side hustles? Are you planning on starting one of these? Do you already have one of these as your side hustle, or are you doing something else? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear and see what you are going to be doing, and keep me posted on your progress as you move forward on your side hustle to create that amazing business without any money. Again, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe, and also make sure you check out our podcast everywhere where podcasts are shown. The Dima Show is all over the place now. I'll catch you on the next video.